Okay, YouTube, we're going to continue our AI adoption crusade. It's looking more and more like a crusade in Canada than anything else. And, I as each day passes, I sort of feel like, the few people who are able to get businesses and individuals over the line to adopt AI, you sort of have a responsibility. Your capability basically means you have a responsibility to, help out. So if you're not familiar with who I am, my name's Alex. I run an AI agency in Toronto. It's called PeakDemand Incorporated. We help small businesses, medium-sized businesses, enterprise, and municipalities, transit systems with AI adoption and integrating AI automations into their workflows or just designing new workflows for them. And a very interesting article just came out from StatCan. They're basically saying that expected use of artificial intelligence by businesses in Canada over the next 12 months is expected to be frighteningly low. And, I, as an AI agency owner, I try my best to keep in tune with the sentiment of AI adoption in this country as much as I can, just because it's an indication of, the thrust of new business that we take on, but also trying to align, the types of things I'm saying, the content I'm building with the people who might not be there just yet. So a few weeks ago, I took it upon myself to start a mission to make content focused on, demystifying AI and trying to promote its use for Canadians, especially. Like if you look at these numbers, okay, let's just look at these numbers really quickly. And I did a full article on this. Or I did a full video on the article we did on Peak Demand for this, but I sort of want to show you guys the stats right from the source, just because I think that's going to bring home a little bit more than just what we post on our website. So most businesses still do not plan to use artificial intelligence in the next 12 months in Canada. We're the most developed nation in the world that is not adopting AI. And so because of that, we're sort of getting studied by think tanks around the world going, what, why aren't we looking at Canadians using AI if they're literally next door to Americans who are spending trillions on it? And some of the reasons here, let me just get into this real quick. In my head. Lack of AI knowledge and capabilities, that was 11%. And you know what? This is probably a larger percent, but there's other options that took up that space. Every single Canadian business we talk to generally has very little idea on where to start. And if they already have started their journey, they tend to come against a roadblock that they then say, you know what, maybe we got to get some guys who are specialized in this on the case. And that's where we come in. But lack of knowledge and capabilities of AI, that's across the board. We don't have a very vibrant tech culture here. So the leap towards AI from the little bit of tech that we were doing the last 3 decades, it's pretty difficult. Concerns about privacy or security, 8%. I mean, that's shrinking, I think, overall. Like people are caring less and less and less. It's like getting afraid of privacy and data with AI. It's like, well, when's the last time you logged into Facebook or Instagram? Like, let's get really serious, guys. AI is not mature enough technology. That's dipping. AI is, and the last time I looked at this was last year. AI has evolved at warp speed since then. So this is again just noise to me. Too expensive. That's you pay for the quality that you get. What can I say? Lack of skilled workforce. 100%. I would say this should be a bit higher as a reason why we're not adopting. Canadians just don't know what to do most of the time, and so that's why a lot of our demos is just me going into teacher mode and explaining things. But generally, that builds credibility, that builds trust. So I don't mind being a teacher. Concerns about bias, shrinking, lack of required data, shrinking, laws and regulations, almost zeroing out. No one's caring. Like we have Ottawa literally saying, guys, accelerate AI adoption. We need to go faster now. Again, Canadians are sitting pretty. Previous or current use of AI did not meet expectations. Super low, barely anyone has tried. Other reasons low. The most prevalent reason why Canadians are not using AI is that they think AI is not relevant to the goods or services produced or delivered. Now, this is a frightening reality for us in terms of our mentality here in this country. The rest of the world is applying AI to their operational infrastructures at warp speed. And this is across every industry, literally every single one you can think of. So when the majority of Canadians are saying that AI is not relevant to their business, this is a complete disconnection from reality. And I don't know what types of words I got to use on the YouTube to go viral, but I think disconnection from reality is pretty good. Just because if you run a business or you do anything, you go to school, you have assignments, maybe you don't go to school and you don't work, but you still want to get things done or around the home or whatever you're doing, your hobbies. AI is relevant. AI will help you. And I sort of want to show what that is or why that would be in a demonstration using ChatGPT now. But I just wanted to first lay out the numbers. Most people in Canada think AI is irrelevant to them. That is a fundamental problem and a disconnection from what the technology can actually produce. And I do really truly believe that is a product of our lack of involvement in technology or technological economies for the last 30 years, or the majority of my lifetime. I'm 37. I started tech or going into tech when I was maybe 21, 22, learning about websites. I saw people selling stuff online. I was really curious. I'm like, wow, money through the internet, really cool. That led me down a path of e-commerce, SEO, and now I'm pretty much looking after gentlemen building AI automations and make sure our clients are happy with their workflows and stuff like that. So the evolution for me has been profound. But I sat at my computer for anywhere between at least minimum 5 to sometimes 15 hours a day, dilly-dallying with digital tools and all sorts of things until you got to ChatGPT. Then I was completely lost. Then I was completely submerged into tech. But that journey that I had, it's an outlier on the typical journey that Canadians would have with their jobs, with their business. Most people being real estate agents, or doing something or working for a government, or being safe with the salary. So I really didn't have that sort of comfort in what the Canadian environment produced for the last 20, 30 years. I had to do things a little bit differently. I saw my peers, getting their nice jobs, some starting families, mortgages, all that stuff. My path was a little bit different, or I would say maybe a lot different, but it's positioned me now in a place where, I have relatively strong companies asking me for help for their AI adoption. So I don't mind it. It was a little bit of a wait, but I'm happy that we're doing well in a time when it's pretty difficult for most. So I consider our team to be a little bit blessed like that, but still want to make sure we're helping out the people who are or not quite up to speed with what's going on. So if you're a business owner in Canada, you're watching this, great. This video is for you. I think I'm going to name the video like Millennial tries to explain why AI is important to baby boomers, something like that. But I'm going to use AI to do this. So I'm going to see if I can hop over to ChatGPT. So just wanted to share that note there. 78% of Canadians think AI is irrelevant to their business. God knows how many non-business owners think AI is irrelevant, but we got to change that mentality. We got to change how we're thinking about that, because it's really not irrelevant at all. It's probably the most relevant technological breakthrough in humanity's history so far. So I'm gonna try and help you understand why. So let's see if we can go to ChatGPT. This is my personal account, so this is where I go to. Well, let's see what some of the stuff I've been looking up or trying to get help with here. Unless they've got access RP compliance stuff, no, those are work things. Let's see, toilet humming causes. So I literally I think the toilet was humming for a bit. And I was like, what the hell is this toilet doing? And so I looked that up. trying to figure out what exactly was going on with the toilet, and something with the lid or one of the washers or something like that. But this is a this is a very straightforward use case of why AI might be relevant. Hey, you got some plumbing, something going on in your home, and you don't know what it is, and you want to call a plumber to charge you $200. Try and figure it out on your own first. I think it's still humming though, so I was informed but didn't get to a resolution. Let me see what else I would use. Oh, I have some conversations going back and forth for different stocks that I'm looking at for short squeezes or doing a market analysis. I also wanted a technical breakdown of the strategic positioning for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu movements. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, it's really a technical fighting form. I'd like to learn a little bit more about how that works, and the different tenets that go into that. And I think I really landed on something I liked here. What were the main tenets? It was something like leverage, positioning, and force, or something like that. And I really, precision, pressure, and timing. I really feel like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is, really relatable to business. So, you have to position yourself well, you have to find leverage, and you have to be well timed in order to advance. So, I thought that was a really good topic of conversation. But this is all me, like my personal stuff, like stocks, combat, stuff like that. But let's just say I was a boomer. Let's just say I was a boomer, and I don't really think AI is relevant to me. I actually believe that AI is dangerous, but I was convinced to at least try ChatGPT. So I'm going to have a conversation with ChatGPT. I'm going to try and train it contextually for it to imagine me as a boomer, and I'm going to have it try and convince me that AI is relevant. And like I'm literally just going to tell it to convince me and how it's relevant to my life. And we're going to see what it says. I'm going to make sure the answers that come back are short. Now I know how to prompt AI, so you could think of this as two different things. Well, he's telling the AI what he wants to tell it, so that the video comes up and it's what he wants us to hear, and it's all biased for him. Or you can just look at the wonders of this technology and be like, wow, he really actually did that example, like for convincing a boomer. That's great. So enough rambling. Let's get into it. Can you hear me? Can hear you. Actually, you know what? Let's do this because you guys might not be able to hear if I'm going through different windows. What I'm going to do is I'm going to instead dictate. I am currently recording the screen. I need to put together a video that will convince baby boomers or older generation, specifically in Canada, that AI is relevant to them, is relevant to their business. It could be helpful in their everyday life. So I want you to imagine that I am a baby boomer, older gentleman, maybe 75 to 85 years old, who is extremely reluctant about AI. And I want you to sort of convince me why AI is relevant to me, not to the world, not to businesses. I want to know how AI can be relevant and useful to me as a baby boomer in Canada, the types of things it could do for me. If I don't know about it, how can I get into it? So I really want you to try and convince me. Make sure your answers are short, relevant, easy to understand, and I want to be able to quickly move from one topic to the next so we can cover as much as possible. Do you understand? Okay, dictated. So again, if you're a boomer in Canada, you're watching this. You don't even have to type. You can literally just click on that little microphone on ChatGPT.com, start talking and asking the AI what it is that you want. There's a little voice engine that can come up that you can have a conversation with. But I like to dictate what I want to say and then put it into the machine, and so the machine can come back with a written answer for me that I can take and then use for whatever I need. Make a PDF, send an email. so some of the stuff you guys are doing. So let's see what I like these videos because they're fun, because they're not so serious. Usually we're talking about workflow operations, API integrations for AI agents, but these videos are sort of fun because it lets me sort of freestyle and then show you guys what the stuff can do. So the AI is saying, absolutely, I understand you're speaking as a 75 to 85-year-old Canadian gentleman skeptical about AI. My goal is to convince you directly using short, clear explanations that AI is relevant to you, not just big companies or young people. Let's begin. You can pause or cut between sections as you go. What is AI really? AI is just a computer that can understand things, answer questions, and do simple tasks like a very smart assistant. It doesn't look like a robot. It is just software like email or a website. So if you're a baby boomer and you're watching this, I'm literally making this for you. And you're probably thinking, well, who's this weird looking guy with that bob on top of his head, with the big glasses and the tank top on YouTube? It's the guy that it's one of the only guys trying to help you adopt AI, or at least understand what it is. So I'm gonna really try my best to continue doing these videos. They're not very It's not a very revenue generating activity, but it is useful because I do believe this is required. Sometimes older generations, they might think, well, I'm too old for this, right? And the AI's answer is not at all. AI is made for people who want help, period. It doesn't matter how old you are. If your memory's not what it used to be, or your hands don't move as fast, AI is like a patient helper that's available 24/7. And you know what? Like, I've had multiple instances where I was thinking I needed to create an AI voice agent for my father because he's 85. And so the idea that his time is nearing, and I want him to always feel like he has a support, or he has people that he can rely on. Our family, like, we spoil this guy. He's very well taken care of. And I think that just might be my mind trying to spoil him more. But maybe having a voice agent that's trained on his favorite topics of conversation, or maybe some of the books or things that he likes, where he can have conversations with his agent whenever he wants over the phone, and give him that outlet, to pretty much explore his own mind through one of these voice agents. I always had that thought, and his memory is deteriorating. He's 85. He's really, really getting up there. It's not his long-term memory, but his short-term memory seems to be waning a little bit. So, putting up an AI agent that he can just have a phone number, say call just in case, and I can monitor him, the conversations he's having, make sure that he's okay. I do have consideration for that. If you're watching this and you think you might need a voice to talk on the phone whenever you want about anything, maybe even like a helpline for you if you have questions about stuff you're doing. We primarily serve businesses, but I do see custom personal assistance down the line. So if you're a young person who sees that and you're considering that for an older person, let us know. It's like a patient helper that's available 24/7. Everyday help, no tech degree needed. So here's what AI can do for you as a baby boomer in Canada today. You can write your emails for you. Just say what you want, and it'll literally clean up the language. Read things aloud like news, emails, or recipes. I think this one's going to be big. I think once baby boomers start to realize, like, you don't even need to read stuff anymore. You can just have AI recite it for you. Like, that's really good. Remind you when to take pills, pay bills, or call someone. So, interesting fact, you can use ChatGPT to put together tasks or reminders, or even automations, like within your account, that it'll do. I think it'll do like 10 tasks per day or something like that. But if you go back to the chat, it'll remind you, it'll tell you stuff. So if you're a baby boomer, you got a schedule to adhere to for maybe something medical, train an AI agent to remind you to take your pills at certain times a day, and it'll do so with pretty strong accuracy. Call business and book things, like a haircut for you. You could have a voice agent do outbound calls and do stuff for you. That's a pretty sophisticated build out. So if you need help with that, let us know. But I would definitely, just stick to talking to an agent that can provide you with information. Explain confusing things. This is my number one use case for AI. Explain this to me. Explain this API payload to me. Break it down. What's the integration map look like for this with these two systems? those are things that I'm asking. But for someone, maybe a baby boomer who really loves cooking, a number of times I've asked ChatGPT to give me the ingredients to different tastes or different cooks that I would be engaged in. So there's all different types of things, and I think I'll get into that a little bit here. I don't use a computer much. Is that a problem? Not a problem at all. In fact, this is my prediction. It's that AI is going to bridge those people who are not necessarily very good at technology with extremely powerful technology that can be useful for them. And this is primarily going to be through voice interacted agents. So that's why I'm really excited for our space, because the deeper that we go into integrations for our clients, the more it's very apparent to me voice activated AI agents are going to be the biggest bridge towards mass adoption. It's when everyday people can say, "Hey Siri, can you do this for me? Hey Alexa, can you do that for me?" Instead, it'd be my agents say, "Hey Sasha, I want you to go book me a flight to Fiji right now. Make sure you get 2 tickets. I'm going to take my mom or my girlfriend or whoever." So that's really for me. It's looking at AI and its complexity and how technical it is for us to be able to activate that sophisticated technology just through simple conversation, I think is going to be the runaway train for adoption. So if you're a baby boomer watching this and you're not very good at typing and stuff like that, don't worry so much. You can activate these machines or computers by just speaking to them. So no problem at all. You can talk to AI out loud using your phone, just like talk to a person. You can even get devices like Alexa, Google Home, or AI apps that answer you verbally. What if I run a small business? AI can answer the phone, reply to customers, remind people to pay you, write ads or social media posts, keep track of appointments. It's like hiring an assistant, but for $10, $100 a month instead of thousands. I mean, if you're paying for a ChatGPT prescription and you're actively using it like that price range is accurate. If you want an AI agent that automates all of this and is doing it automatically every month where you don't have to touch it, probably going to have to spend a few hours building, or maybe even a few days building that automation or hiring someone to do it. But all of this is true. And if you are running a small business and you haven't dipped into AI yet, go to chatgpt.com right now, trauma dump your entire life and your business into the AI and ask it, what do I do next? And you will be absolutely amazed at how much production will come out of that question. But we charge on. I don't trust it. Can it be dangerous? AI is a tool like a telephone or a calculator. You're in control. You can choose what it helps with. If it's not useful, you can turn it off. I would say this is AI. You can trust AI. It's like AI is like high-powered weaponry. Good to have in a police officer's hands. Bad guys, same thing. Guns are dangerous in bad guys' hands. Good to have them in good guys' hands, police officer hands. Same thing with AI. It's powerful, and anything powerful, it's like fire. It's really, really useful, but it's also really, really powerful, and because of that, sometimes dangerous. But generally, the people who are putting together these systems, especially OpenAI, are adamant about safety. So, if you're using ChatGPT, OpenAI tools, generally the things are safe. It's when you get more in tune with the types of things you can do with AI, you become dangerous. You become a force. Like when I first came across the outbound phone calling, like where the AI can pick up the phone and call people, immediately I thought in my mind, like, we can literally call every single home in Canada with this technology. We can call every single person and say, "Hey, how are you? How's your day?" Or we can say, "Hey, you should buy this stuff," or whatever. Like, that power exists, but I know, obviously, as an AI agency owner, I have to maintain a level of responsibility and be a role model. So, we don't do stuff like that. But also, the government's watching people, interact with AI tools and use them. So you sort of, if the more that you get into AI, the more that you realize, you sort of have a responsibility with your capability and your knowledge. Like, you can't behave wildly with this technology. You really, and it's something that I've even taken on, being more measured and more deliberate in what I do, just because you're taking on a lot of power at once. So if you're a business owner and you get into the depths of AI and what it can do, you will feel more powerful, you will feel more dangerous, but then you will feel more accountable and more responsible. And I think that mess of emotions, that coalescence of emotions, is really it's really different, and I really like it. It makes me feel like I have impact, so to speak. But yes, AI can be dangerous, but generally it's harmless. It's only dangerous if you know how to make it dangerous. You know, like a butter knife. A butter knife is something that shreds butter, but it can be lethal. But isn't AI just for young people? Not anymore. I like how it says not anymore. Like, seniors are one of the biggest groups benefiting from AI now, from medical reminders, voice control, mobility, help, and loneliness support. Yes, AI can even hold conversations. And this to me is really, really like super ironic, because the largest benefactors of AI production, or anything coming out of the generative AI space, is most likely going to be those people who are not even aware or understand the technology, just because they're seeing more information faster. Like, oh great, that's great. I mean, I'm helped out more. Alexa's better, Siri's better. Oh wow, this company just put all this interesting content together for us for free. Like, well, that's great. So, and another interesting fact is that voice AI agents go undetected mostly in older age cohorts. So older people are less likely to realize that they're speaking to an AI, and they generally get more help out of it because they're not resistant if they don't know. It's like, oh, this person sounds really smart, really sharp, great, they were really helpful. It's only that gray area where it's an older person who's skeptical about anything. It's like, hey, this sounds like it might be some sort of technology. Oh, I'm highly resistant. Let me get a human. I want to speak to a human. Then they go through the workflow even faster. It's the irony that older generations face when coming with this technology is so profound, because they benefit the most from it. They're the least likely to detect it, but then if they're aware of it, they're the most resistant. So it is. I think that would be irony, but it's very fascinating to watch. We're starting to get older business owners into our discovery calls, and becoming our clients. So it is tracking with that cohort, but it's a hard slog. Like, I was pretty much getting no from anyone over the age of 55 in all of 2023 and all of 2024. In 2025, not the case. Like, some older gentlemen are starting to come in here and say, you know what, we like your dedication, we like your commitment, we like what you're saying. You might not understand 100% what you're doing, but at least the products that you're developing, we can see how they work, and they are working. So I really do believe that once the older generations, I don't want to say accept, or I just want to say once they take hold of this understanding and the sentiment, the world's going to rip with productivity. So we're looking forward to it. How do I try it without a big setup? And this is, I think, the biggest barrier for entry. If you don't know what ChatGPT is, and you hear about AI, it's like, well, that's supercomputer stuff. I will never get access to it. Someone just needs to go to chatgpt.com. You can immediately start talking to AI terminals. So use your phone, say, hey Siri for iPhone, or hey Google, or I think it's hey Google or hey Alexa for Android. I'm not sure. I'm really using Android. Try ChatGPT online. Like, what I'm looking at right now, you have access to. So do not be afraid of stuff like that. It's really important that you are keeping pace with the types of things that could be helpful to you. ChatGPT, extremely helpful, and it's free. Ask a younger family member to help you try a voice assistant. It takes 5 minutes to set. If you're an older person and you got younger people in your family, there's almost a 99%, 100% chance that they've already been exposed to AI and are using ChatGPT. If you're an older person watching this and you don't really have young people around you at all, chatgpt.com. Your mind will be blown. Can't wait. If you have a really good experience, leave it in the comments. If you have a really bad experience, leave it in the comments. We'll try and help you. But generally, you should have a really good experience. Um, I usually have good experiences. Can AI help me stay independent? Yes, that's one of its best uses. You will become a one-person army with AI. I will attest to that, like from personal experience. My productivity, the moment I got Chat GPT in 2023, exploded. I mean, I had 10, 12 years of digital experience prior to that, so it really helped contribute to the momentum. But you're really gonna get a kick out of how much you can do if you haven't used it before. If you haven't used AI yet before, you're in for a treat. I want to go back. I want to go back to the times when I didn't know about AI and you know get into the tools and get excited about it, because it's really a marvelous feeling just to know that holy shit, you got something that can do all this stuff for you. Eventually you're going to get to the point where I'm at, where I literally have 3 or 4 chat GPT conversations open at the same time, maybe a couple other third party tools that are building out things, as well as all the voice agents. Like, I'm completely surrounded by AI terminals and agents at this point, just because I probably do have an addiction to AI and its productivity at this point. But if you're just starting out and you haven't had that first taste yet, oh my gosh, is it going to be great for you? Can AI help stay independent? Yes, it can. So it helps you get information without relying on others. It reminds you of appointments or medications. It's funny, I'm like, it's thinking I'm 75, 85 years old. It helps you speak, write, and connect with people, even if you're tired or forgetful. It's about staying sharp, capable, and in control. Final thought: what if I just don't get it? You don't have to understand how it works. You just like you don't need to know how a microwave works. Very cool analogy. I still don't know how a microwave works, but I microwave all the time. You just need to know that it can help you make your life easier, your business more efficient, and your time better spent. That's all. And then obviously the thing's going to give them, if you turn the voiceover script, teleprompter, friendly copy, or YouTube ready structure. Let me see what it says. So I literally just recorded having a short conversation, with the camera, with your response. Are there any words or any other final thoughts you can leave for Canadian baby boomers? Because right now, 78% of business owners in Canada think AI is irrelevant. And we know that cohort's generally older Gen X and baby boomers. What words can you leave them with where it gives them confidence in AI safety, and its level of production to help them in their lives and not be something that they should be afraid of? So let me do a little transcribe there. Fire it up. See what the response says. Absolutely. Here's a short, heartfelt message you can close with that directly speaks to older Canadian business owners and individuals. Final words to Canadian baby boomers. AI isn't here to replace you. It's here to support you. You've already lived through the invention of color, color TV, the internet, smartphones, and you adapted. You're strong. AI is just the next tool. It's not about robots or science fiction. It's about saving you time, protecting your energy, and making life simpler, one small task at a time. And here's the truth. You don't have to understand everything about it to benefit from it. Just like you don't need to be an electrician to turn on the lights, you only need to be open to flipping the switch. Oh my gosh, love that analogy. So pretty. AI is safe. It's getting better every day, and it's already helping Canadians just like you. The only real risk is being left behind. That's a little ominous. Maybe we could improve that. Let's tell it that. This sounded a little too ominous. I don't want to be left behind. Can you say something nicer? Absolutely. Here's a warmer, more encouraging way to end it without sounding ominous. AI isn't here to replace you. It's here to support you. Let's see. And the good news is you don't have to be tech savvy to use it. You just need a little bit of curiosity. The future isn't about catching up. It's about finding new ways to stay connected, capable, and in control. You've already done the hard part. AI is just here to help with the rest. So I love that message, and I love that I had to demonstrate how to uh, pretty much recalibrate the AI to match the context that I needed. And you can see it's me in control, guiding the responses in a way where, I want a certain level of response to be this, so I need you to do this. So I went from a little bit cold, saying, the only risk is being left behind, to you've already done the hard part, is just to help you with the rest. So if you're writing messages, emails, hell, if you're writing a book, AI is amazing to help you get your words and thoughts out in a great way. But we're 35 minutes here. I'll try and do one of these videos once a week because I think they're fun. But yeah, this is pretty much it. This is the beginning of the journey of speaking to these machines in a way that's helpful to you as a Canadian baby boomer, maybe an older Gen Xer. If you haven't gotten into it yet, just try it. Just try like that. It's free to try. You can't get hurt, typing on a computer. It's really the information that you give it is what it's going to talk about, and it's not going to create or take anything from you on this interact. Like, you can have this conversation in incognito mode where it's not even seeing any information, on your computer at all. No browser history, no nothing. Like in a space where it's like no cookies are being cached. Like, I don't want to use a technical term, but you can use it in an incognito mode where you can have a conversation that's clean from anything else you've been doing. If you're that afraid, if you're not, open up your browser, go to ChatGPT. Download the ChatGPT app. My ChatGPT app is completely overrun with tasks reminding me to do stuff. I got to clean that up a bit. But yeah, I hope this video at least helps show you, or at least introduce you to some of the types of things it can do as a Canadian baby boomer, because it really is going to be down to the older age group in Canada. Like, I'm trying to do my best, starting a company, hire people, do good for Canadian businesses. I'm 37. I'm a millennial. I'm trying my best. But those older baby boomers who are already established, you own, 3 or 4 homes, you got 2 or 3 businesses, or what have you. Maybe not too many of those people exist, but you're in an established position. We need people who are in strong positions to be arbiters or trailblazers of AI, because a strong person, a strong position, circumstance, a strong voice, that's what's required to get people over the line. Like, you have to sort of be an example or role model for people. So if you're a baby boomer and you want someone to talk to about this stuff, you can call Sacha, our executive assistant. You can leave a message for me with her. I'll try and get back to you. I mean, I'll try my absolute best. We usually prioritize, business inquiries, but if you're an older person, you just want to have a conversation, talk to Sasha. You can let her know that the message for Alex. I'll try and get back to you, or at least someone will. But hell, we can even build you an agent you can talk to. There's so many different ways to take advantage of this stuff. It's just really a matter of getting in there and getting your toes wet. We call it toes in the water implementation. Just a little dip, just to see what the temperature is like. And then you take it from there. You're generally looking like Michael Phelps after a few minutes of conversation with the AI. So I'm looking forward to the next few years. I really do believe Canadians will show the world that our adoption, although slow, will be powerful, will be profound. I always tell my Canadian clients, it's like, you guys might be slow to the plate, but the excruciatingly slow and arduous process of getting there, agents that we deploy tend to be a lot sharper because there's so much care put into them. I do want to see a little bit more briskness in the implementation for Canadians. I'm patient. Got plenty of Americans who are going quick. But when it comes to Canadians, older generation, baby boomers, if we're looking for something to help us out during this trying time, get your hands on some AI. It'll change the way you look at work. It'll change the way you look at how you think. I think a lot differently now. and it's going to change the way you look at the world and how fast it's moving in this technological direction. So if you have young people in your life that you want to see them have a healthy and strong future, get them aligned with this stuff, because it's quickly becoming the centerpiece for our economy. And with that being said, we're at 40-minute mark. I'll let you go. If you like what you heard here and you find this type of conversation interesting, or you just want to make fun of me and leave some colorful language in the comments, I get that a lot. No problem. You can like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you have ideas for other things that you want to see me talk about, on the AI machine, or just try out to show people how AI can be useful, I'll try and devote some time once a week to the older generation to see if we can at least provide some information or some guidance that way. Looking forward to the next one. Bye now.